Welcome back to our conversation with Boston mayoral candidate Jon Santiago. Representative, last week the Boston School Committee voted for a plan to tighten the high school graduation standards in the city, requires students to meet state standards known as Mass Core. In the recent past, less than a third of Boston high school graduates have met those standards. And critics of this move say it's going to cripple graduation rates, which already are in need of improvement, and it's going to leave kids behind. Where do you stand?
No, I agree with what the superintendent has done. Listen, we need to hold our teachers, our families, and our students accountable. And I know there's so much untapped potential there. Look, education has been my lifeline. I was one of those poor minority kids who grew up in a disadvantaged home, and it was through education that I moved through my station in life. The fact of the matter is, John, is that the education system has been failing too many kids for far too long, even before this Mass Core discussion was held up, right? And so the question you have to ask yourself, John, are you happy with the current state of affairs, in City Hall with respect to education or housing or mass and cast right now? Right now, there are 5 other candidates in the race who've been a part of that system, right? We're asking for voters to look for another person like myself who could bring a level of urgency and change to really, improve the system, which is failing too many kids and not providing the world-class education that they need.
Well, you differentiate yourself from the other 5 who've been in city government. You've been up on Beacon Hill. Where does Beacon Hill need to up its game with regard to helping the city?
So I'm very proud that over my term in office, that Beacon Hill just had one of the most productive and progressive legislative sessions in recent memory. We passed the most progressive moratorium on evictions. We expanded women's rights when it comes to reproductive services. We've been able to really change how housing reform is done. We passed a landmark education bill. And I'm very proud that in my first term in office, that the Speaker of the House asked me to serve on this 5-person special COVID-19 task force to get things done, right? That's what we did, and I'm looking forward to the next term, as we currently are having budget negotiations with the Senate right now. And we just also passed a crucially important environmental piece of legislation. So Beacon Hill is moving in the right direction. And, I think the state is in good hands with leadership in the State House, and I'm proud to be a part of that at this time.
Well, we've had a former state rep as mayor for the last 7 years, Marty Walsh. You are saying that in some areas his leadership has been lacking. Is there a disconnect there?
No, what I'm saying, this race is really about the future of Boston, right? I'm not running against, Secretary of Labor Marty Walsh. I'm running right now to be this mayor at this crucial time, because I think this moment transcends politics as usual. And it's going to require a leader and someone who's committed to public service and getting things done. And that's what we bring to the table, right? When vaccination rates were low, when communities of color were not getting their vaccinations, I started a program with the community to vaccinate, and we're almost up to 4,000 people. We bring a level of urgency, a level of commitment to getting things done, and I think that's a deficit that City Hall is missing right now, leadership. And look, I've been trained to do it my entire life. If we don't get things done in the emergency department, people die, right?
On that note, our time is up. Representative, if people want to find out more about you and your candidacy, how do they do it?
Great. Well, thank you, John, for the time. You can go to my website, www.jonsantiago.org.
Jon without an H, just like me, right?
Jon without an H.
Thank you very much, Representative. Appreciate it. And